That is so fetch.
Guys, I am literally so excited to talk about this record today. You don't know how excited I am to have this album, okay, in my collection now. If you saw my Metal Monday stream this week, you would have seen me unbox this lovely thing, but now the cassette came and I'm still waiting for the CD. But yes, your girl, I've already listened to the dang album. By the time this video comes out, it's not even officially out yet. I got myself set with this record. I am familiar with it. I've listened to it and I'm here to give you my thoughts, to review it, and to also unbox the vinyl and the cassette. I'll probably unbox the CD on my stream, but check out the beautiful background. In true Cannibal Corpse fashion, they stuck with the zombies. The zombies. Love the album cover. And this is the dope AF inside. Which, you know, this is hotter than I thought it'd be. Got some photos there. Yeah, you done good. If you also pre-ordered the full package, deluxe edition, you would have gotten the puzzle, which I missed out on. I didn't realize that there was a puzzle. Anyway, this new Cannibal Corpse record, Chaos Horrific, comes out this Friday, September 22nd of 2023 via Metal Blade Records. Now, Cannibal Corpse, they're pretty damn solid through and through. Their entire discography is just there's not really a bad Cannibal Corpse album. Now, personally, I prefer the records with Corpse Grinder just because I love Corpse Grinder. I think he's just an absolute doll. So that's a personal preference, though. I mean, Cannibal Corpse doesn't really put out bad records. So this is a very, very standard Cannibal Corpse record, this modern day death metal for them. They've been in the game for a while. We know this. The big focus for me on this record that I thought was really cool was there's a lot more of a clean, bright sound, I guess, that you could describe this record as in comparison to Violence Unimagined, which I felt was a little more dark and crunchy. But this is beautiful. This entire record is very just straightforward death metal for Cannibal Corpse. It is chock full of just delicious crunchy guitar riffs, but every single solo in this record is clean, it's bright, and it's got some twang to it, and I freaking love it so much. It's a different vibe, and I'm not sure if it's because it's a refreshing sound and new Cannibal Corpse, and maybe with a few more listens it won't sound like that, but I've listened to it several times, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting in comparison to Violence Unimagined. The production of it is crisp, it's clean, it's a new record, so that's what we would kind of expect, especially with such a big band. But you can really hear, the drums, the bass. Corpse Grinder sounds amazing in this record. And his vocals are just nice and upfront in the mix. His enunciation is also really good too. I mean, he's doing a great job of enunciating, so I can understand him. It's great. Let's talk about the album's track list, okay? The two singles were Summoned for Sacrifice and Bloodblind, which actually go back to back on the first half of this record. And after some time listening to this album, I have to say that Bloodblind, in my opinion, is the strongest of the two singles. And I just really like it. Bloodblind just is a lot stronger on its own and in the full track list. I loved the beginning opener. There's a bass intro, which is super strong. Nice guitar riff is also super catchy. And the solo in this song, like I said, is very clean. It's got some sassy twang to it. Frenzied Feeding is also a absolutely super aggressive track. It's filled with blast beats. It's quite unforgiving, honestly, but it works, especially coming right after the opening track, Overlords of Violence. It contains another clean and short guitar solo. There's a super fat, delicious breakdown in the song, which reminds me a lot of there's a breakdown It reminded me a lot of the songs like in Violence Unimagined. That's really what you have to know. Summon for Sacrifice is a very satisfying song to listen to right after Frenzied Feeding. It's just a great transition. It's super crunchy. You go in then to the second single, like I said, Blood Blind, with its double bass intro, super chuggy riffs. I did a reaction to both of those singles, so you should definitely check that out after this video if you haven't already. But it's just brutal. It's great. It's a great tonal change because I feel like Blood Blind and Summon for Sacrifice are a little bit slower songs than the first two. Blood Blind is definitely a little slower feeling in my opinion than Summon for Sacrifice, but it works, you know. Chaos Horrific has a super catchy chorus. Pitchfork Impalement has a great solo. Fractured and Refractured also has a delicious, clean guitar solo. There's also a drum solo at the ending, which I thought was delicious. For Pitchfork Impalement, before the solo, there's this nice like cymbal tap, elongated instrumental sort of breakdown thing that they do. And it's, oh God, hearing the solo right after that is just a perfect outro for the song. I love it. Like I said, this like clean guitar sound visits every single track on this record, and normally you wouldn't think that that would work, but I think it's something new and interesting that they're doing, and I really like it. I really like the sound. Pestilence Rictus has like this grungy slide-like breakdown thing that's very sassy, and it's followed by yet another delicious clean guitar solo in the tone. Now let's talk about the last song, Drain You Empty. This is a very interesting song for Cannibal Corpse. It's very reminiscent of current cattle decapitation, but like Death Atlas cattle decapitation, which you wouldn't think that they would make something that sounds like that, but I immediately heard it in this song. And it's honestly what I would consider a ballad for Cannibal Corpse, if you can even call that. It's definitely slower in my opinion than Bloodblind, at least for the feel of it. It's very Death Atlas. Slow banger. It's moodier than I'm used to, you know. Normally it's just like, for Cannibal Corpse, it's a lot of like in your face, aggressive blast beats, zombies, blood, gore, cut limbs, you know, you get the vibes. But this was a little bit more of like a moodier, mature track in my opinion, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. Like I said, it's Drain You Empty. It's the closer song on this album, and it's not what you would expect, but it's a really, really nice closer. Also, there's a double layered guitar solo at the end of this song, which it's my favorite. You don't expect it. It's a little, I honestly think it's very melodic for Cannibal Corpse. It has Drain You Empty echoing as the last thing that you hear before the record ends. And it has a very clean, hard ending too. It doesn't ring anything out. It doesn't do a slow fade. It's just like Drain You Empty, and then it just boom, cuts out. It's a very clean ending to where it doesn't leave you hanging. So you want more, but you're also perfectly satisfied, if that makes sense. So above all else, like, I'm going to be honest and say this is a really solid piece of work from Cannibal Corpse. Very great modern sound, very standard Cannibal Corpse record. I really, really enjoy it. It's a very good release, but it's not as good as Dying Fetuses Make Them Beg for Death. And honestly, that record's going to be really, really hard to beat this year. I wasn't the biggest fan of Terracite, in my opinion. I think Make Them Beg for Death is just stronger, in my opinion. Death Atlas was the superior cattle decapitation record, in my opinion. But it's a hard race. Like, it's going to be a very 50-50 split between, you know, Terracite and Make Them Beg for Death. I think this could be a contender for like the best album of the year, but I think it is going to be the majority of people's third choice, just because there were some bands, man, releasing some banger albums. We had Obituary and Cryptopsy this year that were releasing albums. So, I mean, it's been kind of wild out here. It's like the Wild West of metal releases. So, I'm going to show you this record, this vinyl. Now, I got the peach color. They had a ton of different colors, which I'm just obsessed with. There was one that's like more of this fleshy pink tone, that's got like some brown, so it looks literally like rotting flesh. Hopefully I can capture the color well, but it's kind of like a peach, and it's got a little bit of strokes of white, so it's almost like peaches and cream color, you know? Very, very beautiful vinyl. Super, super, super cute. And overall, it's just cute. It's just adorable. I love it. So, if you can call a vinyl record adorable. But I really like it. And I'm thinking about possibly buying the flesh tone one and then giving this peach colored one in the giveaway for Cultmas. But here's the insert, and this is the first page, which I know my light's in the way. Here's the back, just like lyrics and some cool kind of like gore pictures, gore drawings. Here's the insert on the inside. And here's the cassette. So, you know, standard cassette. And they just kept it really simple with a nice black tape. But it's actually not even black. It's like, I forgot, it's like a clear, super, super simple, which I love. But, yeah, make sure you pre-order stuff, you know, so you actually get the code. Don't be like those D-bags that just pre-order stuff and then put it online prematurely. So, people that spoiled Dying Fetus's record, I'm looking at you. This is the one side of the insert. Just cool little photos of them performing live. And this is the inside, which is just more of the lyrics. Very, very simple. Nothing too fancy. Yeah, because you can definitely see all of that. But you get the idea. I like it. Sometimes it's fun just to have like very simple packaging. I feel like it'd be kind of cool to have like blood splatters on here, but maybe that's just me wanting more gore. Overall, this is a really, really solid record. Like I said, it's going to be hard for this record to really stand out among the hot contenders of this year. I think it's going to be everybody's top third pick. I don't think it's going to be number one. Dying Fetus and Cattle Decapitation and Cannibal Corpse, they're all just, my God. I mean, and then you have Obituary. I don't know. It's just this year. This year for music has been wild. So I'm very curious to see what new music we're going to get next year. But yeah, overall, I give this record an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very good release. I think it's a very standard Cannibal Corpse record. But I think it's also one that, you know, it's good, but it's not breaking any bounds, you know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know? Because, I mean, Cannibal Corpse does death metal very well. So, you know, I think it's an 8 out of 10, and I think it's still very good. It's still very strong. I'm still going to listen to it. But, and they're still my boys, okay? I'm still here for the boys. But Dying Fetus and Cattle Decapitation, I mean, those are like my 3 favorite death metal bands. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed my review and unboxing for Cannibal Corpse's Chaos Horrific record. Let me know what you think about this record. What are your thoughts on it? If you ordered one of the vinyls, what color did you get? Did you order the cassette? Did you order the CD? And if you got the puzzle, girl, how does that look? Because I'm really jealous if you got the puzzle. But definitely go support Cannibal Corpse. They're touring right now. They're getting ready to tour, and I'm super excited about that. So, you know, let me know your thoughts. If you've listened to the record, what would you rate it? And out of the 3, this is the real question. Out of the 3, Cattle Decapitation, Dying Fetus, and Cannibal Corpse, what order would you put that in for best record, top 3 best record releases of this year? Let me know down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss a video, and I will see you next time. Bye, you guys.